Hello and welcome back to another video, and thank you as always for watching. Sorry it's been so long. My computer has decided to completely give up the ghost now, so I thought I'd just do an F1 video on my phone because I like doing F1 videos and chatting absolute rubbish about it. So today's topic is going to be about, excuse me, sorry, I've got sniffles now. It's going to be about Ferrari and what changes are they actually going to make this car, not this car, sorry, this team, a championship winning team. Because arguably, certainly at the start of the season and throughout the first half of the season, we saw the Ferrari able to at least get pole and win quite comfortably in a lot of races. Obviously, Max was always there or thereabouts. It was always Max versus Charles. Basically, they're just elite compared to their two teammates, aren't they? Obviously, Checo had a good start to the season, but then obviously kind of tailed off. Sainz just really hasn't had a great season, has he? Really, obviously he got his win in Silverstone, but yeah, he's not really had a great season. So it's just been, the two team leaders, Max and Charles, at the front of the pack dominating, and arguably, if it wasn't for Ferrari strategy decisions, they could have, maybe not towards in the last sort of 4 or 5 races, but certainly they could have come into the season break at least nearly there, or within a chance of winning the championship. But obviously, as we've seen, what actually happened is they completely fluffed it. And I'm sure everyone pretty much watches F1 every week. The start of the race, and it's just like, well, how are Ferrari going to mess it up this time? Like me and my brother, we always message each other. It's like, well, how are they going to mess it up this time? And then it still manages to blow your mind when they actually do it. You're like, wow, wouldn't have thought of that way of messing up the strategy or the race. But yeah, they seem to come up with some very, very interesting ways of losing a race. So I mean, it looks like they have the car, it's there or thereabouts. They seem to be struggling race pace over the last few races. I'd say 3 or 4 races. But obviously, when we look back, only as far as Austria just before the summer break, I mean, the Ferrari was the quicker car on race pace outright. And obviously, Max decided not even to fight it because the Ferrari was the faster car. But obviously, it's I think there's the funny stat that I mean, it was a long time ago now. It's been broken by even more now. But obviously, Max Verstappen has converted more pole positions, more of Charles Leclerc's pole positions than Charles Leclerc has, which is quite interesting. But I really hope, because obviously I think Ferrari may have binned off this season. Obviously, I think they're still clear enough of Mercedes to not have to worry about them. So I'm wondering whether they're focusing now on next year's car. But like I was saying earlier, that's not really the problem. The problem is the strategy and how they managed to just bin races out of absolutely nowhere in very strange circumstances that, from us watching on the TV, seem absolutely baffling. But whether or not they're gonna, does Mattia Binotto need to go? I don't know, to be honest. Whether it's the strategy team, whether it's the something fundamental throughout the team, they just seem to panic when things start to get a little bit close, and whether or not they need a restructure. But I mean, I think most people would say they need to get rid of half the strategy team at least. I mean, because so far it's not working, and I'd love to see a title fight where Charles and Max actually fight it out, because they've been having when they are close together, they have had some fantastic and clean, beautiful racing. Even so recently as Suzuka, where, I mean, you could argue obviously that is an incredible overtake by Max, but at the same time, Charles could have, most people would have crashed into Verstappen if someone had done that, but Charles is good enough to accept the fact that he's lost the corner, even though he went into the first corner of Suzuka ahead. So incredible talent. Obviously, we've seen some mistakes from Charles as well, but maybe that's due to the pressure. But yeah, it'd be interesting for these last few races to see whether Ferrari try and develop the car more for this season, or whether they just sort of scrap it off like Mercedes have and just decide to go all out for next season, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea for them, considering they haven't really got anything to gain at the minute. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens in the last few races, and obviously to next season. Um, might be much of the same, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, just glad as well to post another video up because it's been such a long time. But yeah, if you have got to this point and listened to my drivel, then thank you ever so much, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, and bye bye.